Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
For years, Will Smith seemed untouchable. Not just another movie star, but the kind of name studios planned entire release schedules around. The guaranteed choice. The face attached to massive budgets because audiences always showed up. Families trusted him. His image was safe, clean, and reliable. He could be funny without crossing the line, emotional without seeming unstable, and charismatic without trying too hard. Parents approved. Kids admired him. From blockbuster franchises to inspirational dramas, he wasn't just part of successful films. He became the symbol of success itself. He represented positivity, stability, and the version of Hollywood that made fame look safe and respectable. But that image didn't collapse in a single moment. It didn't shatter overnight. Instead, it slowly cracked. Piece by piece, the reputation that once felt unbreakable began to fracture until the public could no longer ignore the change.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to talk about something really important. Earlier this year, I was hired to be a performer on a major tour with somebody who is huge in the industry. So I was excited, proud of myself for getting the opportunity. Unfortunately, some things happened, and I can't get into the details of exactly what that was, because it's already a legal issue right now. But the reason why I'm speaking out about this is because getting fired or getting blamed or shamed or threatened or anything like that, simply for reporting sexual misconduct or safety threats at work, is not okay. And I know that there's a lot of other people out there who have been afraid to speak up, and I understand. And if that's you, I see you. And that's pretty much it. More updates to come.
What made the shift feel so unsettling wasn't only what happened, but how fast it happened. A man once treated like a universal good guy suddenly became a constant target. First came the jokes, then the memes, then the headlines filled with legal language no one ever expected to see linked to his name. Many people trace the turning point to when his private life became public spectacle. When Jada Pinkett Smith spoke about an entanglement, it stopped being simple celebrity gossip and turned into something much larger. The details unfolded in public, and the internet did what it always does. The tone changed. People weren't laughing with Will Smith anymore. They were laughing at him. Clips went viral. Expressions were dissected. Interviews were replayed. Awkward moments became their own genre of content. Bit by bit, the online narrative no longer matched the confident, controlled image he had built over decades. Even then, a lot of people still felt sympathy. They saw embarrassment, not a villain. That lasted until the Oscars. Watching him walk on stage and strike Chris Rock live on television didn't look like strength to many viewers. It looked like a breaking point. In one instant, the polished image cracked. He went from Hollywood's golden boy to someone the public no longer knew how to defend. And yet, that wasn't the end of the story. After the memes, the debates, and the apology cycle, something else began to surface. This time, it wasn't driven by viral jokes, but by court filings and legal claims with real-world consequences. A video appeared online from a professional violinist named Brian King Joseph. It wasn't flashy or widely promoted. In it, he spoke carefully, without naming anyone directly, about feeling mistreated, unsafe, and uncomfortable while working around a powerful figure in the entertainment industry. At first, the clip barely traveled. Then legal documents became public, and the situation shifted from online talk to formal allegations. According to those filings, Brian King Joseph filed a lawsuit naming Will Smith and a company connected to tour operations. The complaint described a professional relationship that, he claims, gradually crossed boundaries. He alleges that what initially felt like mentorship and career opportunity began to feel personal and isolating, with increasing discomfort over time. The lawsuit also details an incident during a stop in Las Vegas where Brian says he returned to a hotel room arranged through tour staff and found items that did not belong to him, along with signs that someone else had access to the room. He reported the situation to hotel security, local authorities, and tour representatives. According to the filing, the response he received was not support but dismissal, and he was later removed from the tour. Will Smith's legal team has strongly denied the allegations and stated their intent to contest the claims. No court decision has been reached, but once the lawsuit became public, the cultural reaction followed a familiar pattern. The internet began revisiting old interviews, old rumors, and past moments that had once been ignored or brushed aside. It's important to separate public discussion from legal judgment. Online speculation is not the same as a court ruling. Still, the structure of the claims, power, access, blurred boundaries, and denial when concerns were raised, felt familiar to many who have followed other high-profile cases. That recognition is part of why the story gained traction. The lawsuit frames the situation not as a single incident, but as a gradual process that built over time and reached a breaking point. According to the complaint, when Brian spoke up, the relationship ended and his role was removed. That sequence, more than any single detail, is what unsettled the public. Because once a figure long seen as untouchable becomes linked to serious allegations on the public record, the image that once felt unshakable no longer looks the same.
You see the hundreds of celebrities that I've done business with and done things with. During the latter years of our relationship, Will was not my friend. I was his friend. I could tell you what goes on on the inside. Everybody else is just speculation. And then I've saw acts that when I walked in them.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin. Door to Dwayne's dressing room. And that's when I see Dwayne and having it. That's what Will. There was a couch and Will was bent over on the couch and Dwayne was standing up, killing like it was there.
Will Smith's team has publicly denied the allegations, calling them false and financially motivated. That isn't a verdict. It's one side of a legal dispute and part of a wider conversation that grows louder whenever new court filings surface. Some commentators have gone further back, re-examining Will Smith's rise and how quickly major opportunities opened for him at key points in his career. Smith himself has spoken about being reckless with money early on, then facing serious financial trouble, describing periods when he was famous yet vulnerable. In the entertainment world, vulnerability can attract powerful figures who offer guidance, support, and access, sometimes with unspoken expectations. That is where the idea of industry gatekeepers enters the discussion. One name that often appears in those conversations is Benny Medina, a highly influential Hollywood executive. Over the years, various allegations and controversies have been linked to him in media and online commentary. They remain allegations, not legal findings, and accounts differ. Still, when people talk about power brokers and access in Hollywood, his name frequently comes up. Another figure often mentioned in long-running industry talk is Quincy Jones, an icon with enormous influence. Some online narratives argue that career breakthroughs are not always driven by talent alone, but by proximity to power and relationships. There is no verified evidence of wrongdoing involving Will Smith and Quincy Jones. The speculation exists largely because of how the public perceives power structures in entertainment, not because of proven facts. Legally, what matters is evidence. Will Smith's lawyers have denied the claims in Brian King Joseph's lawsuit, and the case will ultimately be decided by testimony, documentation, and the court process. Culturally, though, the impact is already being felt. Will Smith was never viewed as just another celebrity. He was a symbol, proof that someone could be a global superstar and still appear safe, stable, and family-friendly. When that kind of symbol cracks, people don't just question one allegation. They begin re-examining everything: the marriage, the public silences, the emotional outbursts, the defensiveness. The entire image gets reinterpreted. So, is Will Smith guilty? There is no verdict, and no one can say. But has public perception changed? Without question. Whether the lawsuit succeeds or fails, the way people see him is no longer the same. The pedestal is gone. The benefit of the doubt is thinner. And in today's culture, once trust erodes, it rarely returns to its original form. This isn't about canceling. It's about accountability in industries that have long depended on silence. If Brian King Joseph's claims are proven, the story becomes larger than one celebrity. It becomes a case study in power, access, and why speaking up can feel dangerous. And if the claims are not supported, the lawsuit will collapse under scrutiny. Either way, the conversation isn't going away. For decades, Hollywood decided which stories could exist. Now, the internet helps decide what spreads, what sticks, and what keeps getting questioned. So, what do you think? Is this the beginning of another major reckoning in entertainment, or a collision of rumor, resentment, and a fallen icon that people are projecting onto? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you found this breakdown interesting, like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next. This story is still unfolding, and we'll be watching closely.